The well's bitter witness. Oozer's eyes weren't closed when we pulled him out of the well. They were wide open, looking straight at me, but the pupils were gone, just two milky white circles that seemed to follow me even after they covered him with a sheet. I'm posting this here because I haven't slept in 4 days. Every time I close my eyes, I hear the sound of wet footsteps on my bedroom floor. This happened in my village in Nigeria about 10 years ago. User was the quiet kid in our class. He was thin, had a slight limp, and always smelled like wood smoke. Because he was different, the bigger boys, led by a guy named Chidi, made his life a living hell. They'd steal his lunch, trip him in the dirt, and call him the ghost boy. One Friday after school, Chidi and his friends cornered User near the old abandoned well behind the school compound. This wasn't just a normal well. The elders told us it was bitter and forbidden. I was there. I didn't join in, but I didn't stop them either. I just watched. Chidi took Oozer's only school bag and tossed it onto the crumbling stone ledge of the well. When Oozer scrambled to get it, Chidi gave him a hard shove. It wasn't meant to kill him, just to scare him, but the stone was mossy and slick. Oozer's feet went up, and he slid backward into the dark. There was no splash, just a dull thud, and then silence. We ran, all of us. We didn't tell anyone for 2 days. We told ourselves he'd probably just climbed out and ran home. But on Monday, the smell coming from the well was something I can't describe. When the men finally hauled him up with ropes, User looked wrong. His skin was gray and stretched tight, and those white eyes were fixed in a permanent stare. The village elders whispered about Ikogoro, the spirit of the restless who die in secret. They said if a person isn't given a proper burial immediately, they come back to claim the witnesses. That night, the scratching started. I lived in a small room with a window facing the bush. At midnight, I heard a sound like fingernails on wood. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Then a voice that sounded like it had a mouth full of water whispered my name. You saw me fall. I froze. I couldn't even scream. I looked at the window, and a pale, wet hand pressed against the glass. It was Oozer's hand, but the fingers were too long, and the skin was peeling off in strips. The next morning, we found out Chidi was gone. His bed was soaked with stinking, muddy water, but he was nowhere to be found. It's been 10 years, and I moved to the city to escape. But last night, I found a puddle of stagnant, foul-smelling water right outside my apartment door. And just an hour ago, my phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. It was a photo of the old well, taken from the bottom looking up. And in the corner of the frame, I could see the reflection of my own face looking down from 10 years ago. He's not resting. He's just been traveling. Stop the bullying. The end.